Good morning, cadets. In the previous session, we discussed about the torque experienced by a rectangular loop placed in a magnetic field. Torque experienced by a current loop placed in a magnetic field. Now, we are discussing about how does a current loop possesses magnetic dipole moment. We have discussed that magnetic dipole moment for a coil having a n number of turns is given by vector m is equal to NIA, where n is the number of turns, I is the current and A is the area. With that knowledge, we are now discussing how a circular current loop behaves like a magnetic dipole. So, first we are calculating what is the magnetic dipole moment of this circular loop carrying current. Let us consider a circular loop of, let us say, single turn carrying current in the anticlockwise sense, and earlier we have found out the magnetic field due to this circular loop. Magnetic field at any point at distance x, at point P, at distance x along the axis of the circular loop, we found out as B equal to mu naught I r square by 2 times x square plus r square raised to 3 by 2. We have derived this equation, right? And the direction of this magnetic field is along the axis when the current is in the anticlockwise sense. If the current is in the anticlockwise sense taken by the 4 fingers of the right hand, then the thumb represents the direction of current. So, direction of magnetic field. So, this is the direction of magnetic field along the axis. So, if we have taken this one as x axis, then the direction is given by I cap, where I cap represents the unit vector along x axis. So, this is how we have already derived. Now, what is the magnetic field at a long distance? Suppose we are considering the point P at a somewhere far away distance. At that moment, what happens? The radius of this circular loop is neglected. If the distance x along the axis, suppose it is somewhere here very far away, if the distance x is very much large compared to the radius of the coil, then r square in this equation can be neglected. So, if the distance x is very much larger compared to the radius r, where r is the radius, then same equation, here r square in the denominator is ignored. Same equation becomes vector B equal to mu naught I r square by 2 times x square raised to 3 by 2. So, you see 2 cancels, so you are left with 2x cube and r square in the denominator is ignored. R square in the denominator is ignored, right? Then we get this equation. Similarly, at the center also we got it. B at the center, I will just write magnetic field B at the center, that also lies along the axis. So, here at the center we take x to be equal to 0. At the center we take x to be equal to 0, and then we got the equation mu naught I r square. So, this r square and r square here cancels. So, you are left with mu naught I upon 2r, mu naught I upon 2r. These are the equations which we have already found out. This is the magnetic field at the center, 2r, right? Now, look at this equation for distance x at a very large distance compared to the radius. If x is very much large, then we get this equation. So, here we multiply this by pi and divide it by pi, multiplying and dividing by pi. So in the numerator we get pi r square. So what we write here is, let me take 2 pi multiplying and dividing by 2 pi, so that in the denominator you will get mu naught upon 4 pi. So that will be easier to understand. So in the denominator you will get mu naught upon 4 pi, whose standard value we already know, 10 to the power of minus 7, right? So I into 2 pi r square, 2I into pi r square. So that pi r square gives you the area of this circular loop, 2I into pi r square divided by, in the denominator you are left with x cube, because 2 2s are 4, so you are left here 4 pi. So that's how we get mu naught by 4 pi into 2I pi r square. So pi r square is the area of this circular loop. So thus we get 2 mu naught upon 4 pi, mu naught upon 4 pi, the constant, into 2 times I into A. So this you can take it as a vector quantity. So this IA we know is the magnetic moment by x cube, So this implies that the magnetic moment of the circular coil of the current loop, circular current loop, is given by M equal to IA, where the circular loop is having single turn. If it is having n number of turns, then the magnetic moment becomes n times Ia, it becomes NIA, which we have discussed earlier if you recall. So that's how we get the magnetic moment of a circular current loop, which is given by B equal to mu naught upon 4 pi 2 Ia upon x cube, which can be further written as B, vector B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into 2 times magnetic moment of the circular loop M upon x cube. So thus we get the result here, very important. The magnetic field of this circular loop at any point P lying along the axis at a far away distance is given by B equal to mu naught upon 4 pi into 2m upon x cube, where m vector is in the same direction as that of the magnetic field vector. So m vector is also in the same direction, magnetic field vector is also in the same direction. So m is equal to Ia vector, which are in the same direction. So this concludes that the magnetic moment of a circular current loop is because of the magnetic field of the current loop. So the current flowing through the circular loop produces the magnetic field as well as magnetic moment. Thus the current loop behaves like a magnetic dipole, right? So we can conclude thus current loop, circular current loop acts like a dipole, magnetic dipole. How is this? How do you conclude that it is acting like a magnetic dipole? One thing is that it is having a dipole moment, magnetic dipole moment M, which is equal to I into A. Second thing is that it is having a magnetic field. So this can be compared with a short dipole. Suppose it is a short dipole. Suppose I am drawing here itself. Suppose it is a short dipole. Okay. The short dipole I am drawing here. N S. So this is a magnetic dipole, a short dipole. We are learning about this later in the forthcoming topic, that is magnetism. So, for this dipole, if you find out the magnetic field at a far away distance, let us say x, then we get the magnetic field due to short dipole B is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi, same equation, mu naught upon 4 pi into 2m upon x cube. So, this is the magnetic field due to short dipole. So, what is short dipole? Short dipole is the one whose length is very much less compared to the distance x. What is short dipole? Is the one where x is very much large compared to dipole length. So, dipole length here usually taken as 2L. So, this is for magnetic dipole, short magnetic dipole. In the same way, if you recall what we have learned in the electrostatics, for a short electric dipole, plus q minus q, we have derived equation for electric field at a far away distance. Electric field at a far away distance, let us say point P, along the axis. So, here it has a dipole moment P from negative charge to positive charge, as you remember, and this is the distance x from the center. This is the distance x from the center O. So, we are comparing this equation with that of magnetic field of a short dipole whose distance x is measured from the center, and this will be of length 2L, and you know short dipole, electric dipole is of length 2A. Recall this. Comparative. If you have a comparative study, then the things becomes very easy. So, electric field due to this is given by along the axis for short dipole, along the axis for a distance x to be very much greater than dipole length 2A, we got the equation, if you recall, mu naught upon 4 pi is replaced by 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space, and here mu naught is the permeability of free space. That is the difference. 1 upon 4 pi is here, 1 upon 4 pi is here also. Mu naught is replaced by 1 upon epsilon naught. So, magnetic moment is replaced by electric dipole moment P divided by x cube. So, this is also acting in the same direction. So, this is what we have studied earlier. Electric field direction is along the axis, right. So, the conclusion here is that even though it is a current loop carrying current I having a single turn, the magnetic field we know, which is given by this. After multiplying 2 pi in the numerator and denominator, we get the equation 2I pi r square upon x cube, which can be further written as mu naught upon 4 pi 2IA upon x cube, where we know the product IA is a magnetic moment. Thus, we get mu naught upon 4 pi into 2m upon x cube, 2m upon x cube for a distance which is very much large. Suppose it is somewhere here, for a distance x which is very much large compared to the radius. So, thus we conclude that a current loop carrying current, circular loop carrying current, thus we conclude that the circular loop carrying current behaves like a magnetic dipole, a short magnetic dipole. That is what I have written. So, circular loop carrying current loop behaves like a magnetic dipole, whose magnetic moment is given by m equal to Ia, whose magnetic moment is given by m equal to Ia vector. So, the magnetic moment is a vector quantity which is acting along the direction of area vector, right. So, area vector and magnetic moment are in the same direction, and they are in the same direction as that of the magnetic field. So this gives an idea that whenever there is a current, the flow of charges, current is nothing but flow of charges in a conductor in the circular fashion, in a circular manner, it leads to magnetic field. So Ampere suggested that the cause of magnetic field or the cause of magnetism is due to circular currents, is due to circular current. The circular current is nothing but the charges flowing in a circular way. So the charges flowing in a circular way leads to magnetic field. This is a very important conclusion by the Ampere. So this has led to think about the calculation of magnetic moment of an electron revolving around a nucleus. Consider Bohr atomic model. In the Bohr atomic model, hydrogen atom is considered. Hydrogen atom, structure of hydrogen atom, in which there is only one electron revolving around the nucleus, and nucleus consists of one proton. Then one can calculate what is its magnetic moment due to its motion in its fixed orbit. So thus we are going to calculate the magnetic moment of a electron, magnetic moment of a revolving electron. That is what we are going to learn once we understand this concept. Okay. Yes, now let us discuss about how an electron revolving in its orbit around the nucleus results into what is known as magnetic field and how it gives rise to its own magnetic moment. So consider the Bohr model of hydrogen atom. In the 1911, the Danish physicist Niels Bohr proposed atomic theory, Bohr's model. It is called as Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. At the center there is a nucleus which is having one proton for hydrogen, and one electron of the hydrogen revolves in its own fixed orbit, right. Let us say the electron is revolving in a circular orbit of radius r, simple circular orbit of radius r. Now when an electron is revolving, it is a negatively charged particle, so it leads to current. The current is calculated as the amount of positive charge for one complete revolution divided by time taken. For what is the time taken for one complete revolution? We call it as time period t. So with the knowledge of the charge that is moving and time taken, we can calculate the current. And here conventional current is the amount of equivalent positive charge. Now we are considering electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, anti-clockwise direction. So current will be considered as same amount of positive charge plus E moving in the clockwise sense, right, moving in the clockwise sense, and then we can calculate what is the current. So current is given by I is equal to plus E by T. So which is in the clockwise sense, since it is considered to be opposite to the motion of electron. If the electron is in the anti-clockwise sense, it is understood that same amount of positive charge is moving in the clockwise sense. So plus E upon T, where E is the electronic charge, basic electronic charge, and T is the period of revolution, that is called time period of revolution, time taken for one complete revolution, time taken for one complete revolution. So we will calculate what is time taken for one complete revolution by the knowledge of the speed of electron. The speed of electron is usually calculated as linear speed tangential to this. So that gives us linear speed. Linear speed is calculated as the complete distance for one revolution divided by time taken. So linear speed V is equal to complete distance covered for one revolution is 2 pi r, where r is the radius, and time taken for one complete revolution is t. So with the help of this, I can substitute what is the value of t here. Therefore, t becomes equal to 2 pi r by v. T becomes equal to 2 pi r by v. So substituting this in this equation, we get the equation for current. Therefore, I becomes, substituting this t here in this place, E upon 2 pi r by v. So v comes to the numerator. So it becomes EV upon 2 pi r. So this is the current value, E into V upon 2 pi r. So 2 pi r gives you the complete circumference. E is the charge of the electron, V is the linear speed or linear velocity of the electron. So this is how we get the current. So using this current value, now I can calculate what is the corresponding value of magnetic moment. Here r is radius of the orbit, radius of the circular orbit. So I can calculate the magnetic moment. It is called orbital magnetic moment. Orbital magnetic moment of the electron. Orbital magnetic moment means what? Magnetic moment of the electron revolving in its orbit of radius r. So it is called as orbital magnetic moment. It is denoted by mu L. Mu L. So mu L is directly calculated with the value of current. Current I into area. Current I into area gives us magnetic moment. So area of this circular orbit is pi r square. So I can substitute pi r square here, and what is the value of I can substitute. It becomes EV upon 2 pi r into pi r square. So pi r cancels. So you are left with EVR upon 2. Therefore, orbital magnetic moment becomes EVR upon 2. EVR upon 2. So here we multiply and divide by mass m, where m is the mass of the electron. Multiplying and dividing by mass of electron. Let us take it as m. Then we get E into mvr upon 2m. E into mvr upon 2m, where m is the mass of electron. Mass of electron. So we are calculating the magnetic moment, orbital magnetic moment of the revolving electron. That itself becomes the magnetic dipole moment of revolving electron. So thus we get E upon 2m into mvr. With our previous knowledge, we know that the product of momentum and radius, or product of mass into velocity into radius, gives us the angular momentum. Angular momentum, which is denoted by small l. So here mu L therefore can be written as E upon 2m into small l, and this small l here, small l is angular momentum r cross p. So we will just write magnitude mvr is called angular momentum. Angular momentum. Angular momentum of revolving electron. Now it's very interesting. Since a magnetic moment is vector quantity and angular momentum is also vector quantity. Magnetic moment mu L is a vector quantity and L is also vector quantity. The question arises, is this magnetic moment of revolving electron is in the same direction as that of the angular momentum? This is interesting. So when you look at it, electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, then angular velocity will be perpendicular to that. last year we have learnt. So the direction of angular momentum is perpendicular to the plane containing linear momentum and radius. So it will be pointing vertically outwards. So I will write here L vector points vertically outwards. Here magnetic angular momentum points perpendicular to the plane outwards, pointing outwards. What about the magnetic moment? So the magnetic moment of the electron, you see, it is in the opposite direction, because here if it is a positive charge moving in the clockwise sense, then magnetic moment is given by, again if it is clockwise sense, you see, then the thumb points inwards. So as we have seen, electron revolving in the anti-clockwise sense, we have taken it as equivalent amount of positive charge revolving in the clockwise sense. Therefore, naturally what happens to the magnetic moment? Magnetic moment points vertically inwards. So here this is about angular momentum, but mu L, magnetic moment of electron, this is orbital magnetic moment. Mu L vector points vertically inwards. So that gives you an idea that mu L and L are in opposite direction. Therefore, we write here, that therefore, using these two important points, one is this one, another one is this one, they are in exactly opposite direction. Therefore, mu L vector, orbital magnetic moment vector of the revolving electron, is equal to E with negative sign upon 2m into L vector. It means magnetic moment is exactly in opposite direction of angular momentum vector, because electron is negatively charged particle. If it would be same amount of positively charged particle revolving in the anticlockwise sense, then in that case orbital magnetic moment of the revolving positively charged particle and its angular momentum both would be in the same direction. That is evident from this equation. Now we apply Bohr's quantization condition. We define here one new quantity called as gyromagnetic ratio. Gyromagnetic ratio of revolving electron as the ratio of orbital magnetic moment to the angular momentum. So this gives us E upon 2m, where m is the mass of the electron, E is the charge of the electron. This is called gyromagnetic ratio of a revolving electron. And for revolving electron, if you substitute the values of electronic charge and mass, you see this gyromagnetic ratio is calculated to be 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb divided by 2 into mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31. So if you substitute this, you get so much of coulomb per kg. So it is calculated to be constant value 8.8 into 10 to the power of 10. 8 into 10 to the power of 10 coulomb per kg. This is the gyromagnetic ratio of revolving electron. Right? Now, coming back to the equation of the magnetic moment, orbital magnetic moment of revolving electron, mu L is equal to EL upon 2m, EL upon 2m. Let us take only the magnitude, so that we will not consider the negative sign. If you take negative sign, then you have to write the direction. So, here L is the angular momentum. Applying Bohr's quantization condition, which we are going to learn later in the atomic physics, atoms and nuclei, in the next part of the physics part 2, Bohr's quantization condition, which states that the angular momentum of revolving electron takes a fixed discrete values, which is given by L is equal to nh upon 2 pi, where n is the number of the orbit or principal quantum number, h is the Planck's constant, and L is the angular momentum. So, angular momentum of a revolving electron is fixed. If the electron revolves in that particular orbit where angular momentum is quantized, then the energy of the electron is not lost in the form of radiation, and thus Bohr explained the stability of atomic model, stability of revolving electron in its fixed orbit whose angular momentum is quantized. Right? If you substitute this in this equation, we get mu L is equal to E into NH upon 2 into 2, 4 pi, 2 into 2, 4 pi m. Here, for n equal to 1, we calculate angular moment, orbital magnetic moment of the electron revolving in the first orbit. So, it becomes mu L for the first orbit becomes EH upon 4 pi m. This is called as Bohr magneton. This is called as Bohr magneton, EH upon 4 pi m. So, if you substitute the values of charge of electron, Planck's constant and mass of electron, we get magnetic moment of the electron in the first orbit called as Bohr magneton. Bohr magneton. So, this value, if you just substitute the values of Planck's constant, 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb is the basic charge of the electron, and Planck's constant, if you remember, it is 6.63 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second divided by 4 into 3.14 into mass of electron, 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. If you substitute this, we get a constant mu L for the first electron in the first orbit. It becomes 9.27 into 10 to the power of minus 24 ampere meter square. So, this is the Bohr magneton. So, how do you define Bohr magneton? Magnetic moment of electron revolving in the first orbit, which is called as ground state, for which n is equal to 1. So, that is what we call it as Bohr magneton, and it is usually denoted by A0. It is denoted by A0. So, once you remember this, then If you multiply it by 2, you will get the magnetic moment of the electron in the second orbit. If you multiply it by 3, n equal to 3, then you will get the magnetic moment of the electron revolving in the third orbit. So, thus we have calculated the orbital magnetic moment of electron revolving around the nucleus, and this gives you an idea that electrons revolving will give rise to magnetic moment. And one more magnetic moment is possessed by the electron due to its spin. It is called as spin magnetic moment, and the spin magnetic moment is intrinsic property of the electron, and this intrinsic property of the electron which is possessing its spin magnetic moment, it is denoted by mu s, spin magnetic moment, intrinsic property, intrinsic magnetic moment. Here mu s is intrinsic magnetic moment of electron, and this is due to spin motion. This is due to spin motion. Actually, the electron will not have the spin motion like that of a tap or rotating tap. So, it is spin up and spin down. I think you might have learned. Spin up will have positive spin moment, and spin down will have negative magnetic moment. So, this intrinsic property of electron is called as spin magnetic moment. Spin magnetic moment. So, this is one of the 4 fundamental quantum numbers, right? Orbital magnetic moment is denoted by mu L, and spin magnetic moment is denoted by mu S, and the principal quantum number is denoted by n, right. So, this is the property of the electron, which is intrinsic magnetic moment of the electron, responsible for the iron like materials to possess the magnetic properties. When the iron is kept in the external magnetic field, the iron possesses the properties of the magnetism, right, and the magnetism is thus caused, the cause of magnetism is the spin moment of the electrons, and it is nothing but the movement of electrons, the circular movement of the electrons, right, that is the cause of magnetism. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.